Hello everyone, this is Mr. Appel, and today we're going to talk about simplifying radicals. So this method is using perfect square factors. So just to kind of review, perfect squares are numbers that when you take the square root, you get a nice friendly whole number. So for example, if I ask you to tell me what the square root of 9 is, you know that the square root is opposite of squaring something. So we're looking for a number that when squared or multiplied by itself equals 9. And so the square root of 9 is 3 because 3 times 3 is 9. And there's lots of perfect squares. It's pretty handy to know them. The square root of 16, 16 is a perfect square because the square root of 16 is 4. The square root of 25 is 5, etc. And it's really helpful to know those to use this particular method because we're going to use perfect square factors. Well, let me tell you what I mean by that. Let's say I ask you to write the square root of 50. Well, 50 is not a perfect square. It's an irrational number. So to simplify the square root of 50, I want to rewrite it as a product of factors where I use a perfect square factor. Let me explain what I mean by that. So I could rewrite the square root of 50 as, let's say, the square root of 10 times the square root of 5, because 10 times 5 is 50. That's a perfectly reasonable thing to do, except it's not very helpful. It doesn't let me simplify this expression at all, so not helpful. I can rewrite the square root of 50 in another way. Let's say I rewrote it as the square root of 25 times the square root of 2. Again, perfectly legal, because 25 times 2 is 50. But this time it actually is useful because I know what this square root of 25 is. So I can simplify. So I can rewrite the square root of 25 as 5. Now the square root of 2 I still can't do anything with. But what I've just done is rewritten the square root of 50 to be 5 times the square root of 2, or 5 rad 2. Those are equivalent expressions, but this is considered simplified because the square root of 2 is broken down as small as it can possibly be.